Detroit, and you know what that means. Detroit media icon Ryan Ermanni, University of Michigan great Braylon Edwards, and of course, Maz are about to take over on Woodward Sports. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m., it's the best Detroit sports talk on Detroit's best sports network, Woodward Sports.
Hey, let's go. Thursday show, April 3rd, 2025. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe to Woodward Sports. And tell a friend about us as well. If you're watching on X, how's everybody doing over on that platform? Braylon Edwards, good afternoon to you. Is that a shoe in front of you?
First of all, it's not just a shoe.
It's a big shoe.
First of all, it's the greatest shoe of all time. It's the Jordan 11. Specifically, this one is my second favorite of all time. It is the Columbia that came out this past January, so I had to show you what it is.
That is nice looking.
You know, it's a beautiful day outside. I was trying to shift the energy, so I pulled them out the box for the first time, rocking the GOAT.
What year is that,
Jordan?
Jordan 11?
95.
Wow.
Yeah. It's amazing, man. It's just amazing. I remember when this shoe came out, the Concourse was the original one.
Yeah,
when
I
it came out,
Concourse.
like it sent a shockwave through UOD. I was at UOD at the time. 96, excuse me, over the line. But it just sent a shockwave. So this is the first shoe that I spent my hard-earned $100+ for. This was the very first shoe because the Cool Gray sold out. So I was able to pick these up for $124.99.
Wow.
Mom and Dad looked at me like I was crazy.
Yeah.
But I told them, I said, Mom, this is the one.
It's cheap compared to now.
It's funny because it's the same.
I'm out of it.
Those are?
So when these came out, these were $119.99. Now when they re-released them, they were $124.99.
Okay.
But most of the shoes, and that's what I can appreciate, they're the same price, which now I look at it, Jordan was out of his rabbit ass mind back in '95.
Well, it's made in China, right?
Jesus Louise. Like the phone posits are 180. They were 210 when they came out then. They're 210 now.
Yeah.
210 and 95 is crazy.
What is, and Ricky, you'd probably know more about this than I do. What does a shoe go for now? Brand new, not a re-release, not.
It really depends on the shoe. Like the market is
Weren't
so
you in the
crazy.
shoe game?
And a little bit at one point, but I kind of got out. But I had a pair of the Concourse. I have a similar story like that. Like those were the shoes I always wanted. But like it really depends on the sneaker. Like
give me a range. Give me a high end.
$119.99 is on average what you're gonna spend. The higher range would probably be like $149.99, $150. There are shoes that cost $200. There are shoes that $220 when they come out. The average drop is probably gonna be a Dunk. That's what comes out the most. Dunks drop probably every Friday. They're like $119.99. The problem is, Ryan, when they drop these on these apps, they get snatched up like that. And then once you can't, just like we were talking about tickets, it's the secondary market. Because now you're not buying them for $125 or $124.99. Now you're at the mercy of whatever somebody on Amazon wants to charge you. $500, $600. I bought some Gray J's in 2023 for $500.
Cole says 250 to thousands.
That's basically where I would say.
He's right. That's the re-release market. I'm talking about.
We have some of these shoe guys coming to Fox too. There's these shoe expos and stuff like that.
StockX.
It is incredible.
They got conventions all the time.
It is like
my daughter's boyfriend Jake. He's got his own business, Jake's Kicks. I mean, that's how he makes his money. That's what he does. He sells shoes and resells and buys them and buys it ahead, and that's how he makes his living.
They have some exclusive, like one of ones, like one of twos, that'll worth $250,000, $500,000. There's a gold pair that's worth $1 million.
Phil says, "Why don't you sign them and give them away?"
Because I'm not Michael Jordan. This GOAT is for Michael Jordan.
You know where the original Jordan is?
It's
at the Henry Ford Museum.
Is it really? I did not know that.
They have the original red and black Michael Jordan Jordan shoe.
86.
Right there at the great Henry Ford, which is the greatest, to me, best museum around.
It is. There's
in
no
the world.
doubt. Freddie Felt, $2. Resellers ruined the sneaker culture.
They did.
I would agree. That's one of the reasons I got out of it.
They
just got too crazy.
It's no way that some of these aren't even exclusive shoes. The 1v1, some of them are just super dope shoes you can't get for under $2,000, $2,500, $1,500. Like, it's ridiculous. But another man's hustle. I'm not gonna knock it.
That's right. Tom Mazway, I didn't say hello to you. Good afternoon to you.
Hey, fellas, this is a great day. First of all, I love Thursdays because it's Friday Eve.
We got to buy you some J's, man.
I know. I wish I could fit in them. Do they run wide? Anyway.
That's the greatest question of all time.
If they run wide, I'd wear them. Anyway, it's opening day eve.
That's pretty good.
And what else was this? What else was this Thursday? Opening day eve, and there was another
right.
3 weeks to the day of the NFL draft.
How about it?
How about it? 3 weeks, guys.
We are going to go heavy draft today. We've got some fun things for the NFL
crazy.
draft we're going to talk about today. Pete Spivak, how you doing, buddy?
Doing all right, man. How are you today?
Very
Thanks.
good. Feeling like $1 million today.
I like that
Got
shirt.
As you
I got a
mentioned,
classic T-shirt on
That
today.
T-shirt
Very
is
rare
classic. You gotta show
T-shirt.
that again. This is Celebrity Deathmatch.
Yeah, it's
wow.
you can't get these anymore. This
Celebrity Deathmatch is great.
I actually have a very secret kind of T-shirt collection. You guys are talking sneakers. I collect old.
well, you're the
That's
eBay
what's up.
king, too. You
Yeah.
got an eBay business. You probably got
Yeah.
a lot of stuff that
Pete's
you
got
know, we
like,
would find.
like
I got
random
a
stuff,
squirrel
obscure
hole, yeah.
items.
Give
what
Paul-
obscure items do you have?
Throw
like
your eBay business out there. Give yourself a free plug.
Oh, I appreciate. You don't have to. I appreciate that. That's very nice of you, Ryan. Thanks very much, man. It's called repeat resale on eBay.
Got it.
So repeat as in
resale.
REPETE. Yes,
There you
repeat
go.
resale.
Love it.
So yeah, I got lots of random stuff. Random stuff, Bray.
I'm still waiting for him to sell all my hats I gave him 4 years ago.
Okay, I have an oversized Atlas, which I'm currently getting ready to list. The
See,
Atlas
I knew you would
weighs
have something
about
obscure.
15 pounds, like a coffee table book.
No kidding.
It comes in
Wow.
a sleeve. It's a gigantic, humongous Atlas. I'm
Can
getting
you
ready.
even turn the page?
Yeah, you can turn the page.
I'm talking
but
about you. It's heavy.
Yeah, it's meant for the coffee table. It's like it's one of those.
crazy. I
Yeah,
like that.
there you go. I appreciate that, Ryan. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Is that Rand McNally? Is that what it is? Rand McNally?
Jared says, going to my first opening day game tomorrow. Would love to meet the crew. Any more chances for those free ticks or the WSN party, Maz?
You got it, Jared.
Oh, really?
Text me at Maz at Woodward Sports. I got you a pair of tickets for tomorrow.
that.
Email you
You're
at
like-
Maz.
Email me
Email
at
you.
Maz at Woodward Sports just to
That's
double
what's up.
check. But I put you on. Jared Sayers, Party of Two tomorrow. You're on the
That's
list.
what's up.
There you go.
You're like
So there it
Santa.
is. Information on your screen right now as well. Detroit's biggest opening day event tomorrow starts at 9 a.m. at the Detroit Opera House. GrandSlamDetroit.com right there on Broadway. You can get tickets to that game as well. But again, Jared, you are in 2 tickets. It is your first opening day tomorrow. You'll meet the crew tomorrow. Now, we are the only team not going to be downtown tomorrow. We're going to be back here doing a watch party starting at 2 o'clock. I will be on the field tomorrow doing pregame responsibilities for the Fox side of things.
Is that fun or does it feel like work?
No, man, it's my favorite day of the year.
Okay.
Yeah, that is actually my favorite day of the year because it just, I mean, the hope of a new season.
Right.
Tigers baseball, spring and summer are in the air. Now today it's beautiful.
Yeah,
Tomorrow
too
it's
bad.
probably going to be about 10 degrees less than this, but nonetheless, I mean, a mix of sun and clouds and 55 on opening day, you will take
That's
it.
heaven.
Every day.
What
Yeah, right.
happens after that, though, I mean, I don't know how much baseball they're going to be playing after this because Saturday looks miserable. Sunday looks miserable. Like all of these things. So you just don't know what the rest of the week is going to be. But tomorrow is a holiday in the city of Detroit, and everybody is going to have a great time. The entire crew will be down there at the Detroit Opera
Jack
House.
Flaherty getting the ball tomorrow.
Absolutely. And the Tigers do come back, and we said, look, what is the worst case and best case? And they come back with our best worst case scenario. Obviously, the worst case scenario would have been 0-6.
Yeah.
But our best worst case scenario was 2-4, and that's how they come back. By the way, every single team in the American League Central Division
Is under.
2-4.
Yep.
All right.
5 teams tied for
They're par.
first or last.
And what did Vegas have for the whole AL Central? 80 wins was the plus minus, the over under.
Wow.
They know what they're doing, guys. They
Yeah.
know what they're talking about.
But yesterday feels like it was a game that the Tigers gave away.
Yeah, they almost won that.
They did.
Blown opportunities. Tarek Skubal now 0-2 on the season. He has dropped his first 2 games. And again, yesterday probably shouldn't have been a loss for Skubal. But, you know, you talk about Colt Keith a little bit. That was a boneheaded play in the field defensively. And I mentioned this yesterday, Bray. I said the guy has thought all one thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the first baseman for the Detroit Tigers, and not even a full game into the season, he moves over to second base, right back to where he was the year before. So I think it will take him time to kind of acclimate to second base and know situationally, because he has put his entire offseason into playing first base. And I don't blame the kid. I just don't blame the kid. Errors happen, and we hope he doesn't make another one like that. But it was a mental mistake. It was a mental error, but I think mentally he's a little bleeped.
He is, and he can't hit either. On top of it,
That's all. That's all encompassing.
Same, better, worse, Maz. Where are you with this this Detroit Tigers team from last Thursday before the game to right now?
much better.
Okay.
I'm comfortable with this team, and I know they're only going to get better. And I told you guys last week, they could have beat the Dodgers 2 out of 3. And I said they could beat the mid teams. And they had Seattle at home, ready to get swept. And they had a chance yesterday, down 3-0 early. They clawed their way back. We all know they should have won that game. But they play hard. They play to the last out, man. They hustle. It's guys that no one in baseball has ever heard of coming up to bat for us, basically. Guys like Ryan Sweeney, who hit a home run yesterday. So it's going to be ticky-tack for a while. You got to beat the White Sox. White Sox come in, yeah, they got the same record as you. You got to beat them tomorrow. For sure, tomorrow is a huge day for the Tigers.
I go back to what I was saying yesterday. I think I'm in better, and what I mean by that is the pitching will get fixed. Tarek Scuba didn't have a great first outing against the Dodgers. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't good. Yesterday was a much better outing in which the hitting and some plays in the infield let him down. We knew going into the season that the infield was going to be a struggle. It was also talked by a lot of analysts as being probably the worst one in years. So we knew that going into the season. So it's going to take them some time to figure out their direction, figure out who's meant for what position. I mean, Javi Baez at the end of the game yesterday, like runners in scoring position to win the game. I'm not mad at that, though. This is Javi Baez. This is what we knew he was coming into this season. His hip is fixed and all these other things. But as of right now, that's the Javi Baez, the Baez that I know. So I'm good with this team. I think Torque has been, he went 0-4 yesterday, but I think he has been a bright spot. It's early in the season. A.J. Hinch, we give him credit. Need him to figure it out. Kreidler, still, this is 26th game in the MLB level, so he's going to make mistakes like that. So I'm going to take a pause. We got a lot more games to go. But yesterday, to your point, they gave it away a little bit.
And the one thing I will say about the Detroit Tigers, and Maz alluded to it a minute ago, man, this team will not give up on any game at all. Period. End of story.
Great manager.
This team fights until there is nothing left. Until they're going to play all 27 outs, and that's probably the best compliment that any manager can have about his club. 27 outs. That's what you get. And I wasn't going to make any determinations after the Dodgers series, and they go to Seattle. And I think Seattle is going to win that division, by the way. I could be wrong about that, but I do think Seattle's going to win that division. They went and took 2 or 3 from them. They did exactly what they had to do in that series against an American League team. And here we sit now. They come home for 3 against the White Sox, and you got to win this series. Win series, especially against teams you got to beat.
Yep. Have a decent April. Get out of April 500.
That's it.
And let's see how it goes from there. Maybe you get guys back. Matt Vierling comes back. Who knows? Parker Meadows, we hope he's back by June 1st. If he's back by June 1st, your outfield is set.
Right.
Without him, they're going to have to find somebody.
Struggle a little bit.
They're going to find somebody.
We're going to go heavy NFL draft today, but before we get to the NFL, I have to comment. We mentioned the Dodgers.
Talk about a team that don't quit.
Down 5-0 yesterday. They're 7-0 on the year. They're down 5-0 yesterday. Shohei Ohtani wins it for them.
Yep.
It is I said this against the Tigers. Bray, I feel blessed to be alive during the prime of the greatest baseball player to ever live. Comes up to bat last night in a tie game. They're down 5-0. They come back to tie it. Shohei Ohtani up in the bottom of the 9th. Nobody on. First pitch, good night. It's incredible what we're witnessing. It is. I got goosebumps this morning. This morning when I saw it.
Yeah, just switching it to the Dodgers real quick, and then I'll talk about Shohei. It's just tough facing this lineup, Ryan. Because at every point, you keep talking about trying to get around. You can't pitch around anybody on this lineup. You can't pitch around because you pass this guy, it's this guy. You pass this guy, it's this guy. You know, Mookie Betts, didn't he do this to the Tigers? There's an MVP. Freddie Freeman, there's an MVP. Shohei, there's the guy.
Best number 1, 2, 3 hitters I could ever remember.
And there's Teoscar Hernandez, and you just can't go wrong with this lineup. So there's always somebody in that main spot. Whenever that spot comes up where it's, all right, we need a home run, we need 2, you got a guy for them. But Shohei, man, Maz, remember when we first started watching him?
Yep.
Shohei was much like the Caitlin Clark conversation.
Yep.
Tried to bring Caitlin Clark up. People didn't want to talk about Shohei. I don't want to hear about baseball. No one cares. And now everybody's witnessing that greatness that we talked about. You just can't put it into words, and it's always when it's supposed to be. That's the mark of a great player, whether it's Michael or Kobe or, Tiger Woods. When the moment is the biggest, it's the easiest for those. And you saw another one last night.
Well, and I wish I could be happy for them, but even me hating them, I had to smile when he hit the home run. I mean, how do you not? And it's Max Muncy gets a 2-run double. He was really struggling. He had an offer for like 2-3 games. Comes up in the 8th, 2-run double to tie it. And then Atlanta was going to blow it. And the guy that threw the ball to Shohei was his teammate when they were with the Angels together. So he beats his old teammate, the Angels, now the Atlanta closer. So they're 8-0. It's the greatest start by defending champion. It's the best Dodgers start, and it's the worst start for the Atlanta Braves. No team, by the way, has made the playoffs starting the season 0-7. There's a lot of talent in Atlanta, and they don't even have back their best player yet.
Right.
Who the heck knows what's going to happen?
Maz,
when they get him.
I think you said 110. Did you say 110 for Dodgers win total?
Yeah.
Yes.
Has that
It might have been
moved-
105.
Okay, has that
Let me
moved
check.
for you a little bit?
Oh, God, yeah. They're 8-0. 105 seems to me like they wanted you to bet the over. So, me, being Mr. Cynical, you got to bet the under. How are they not going to win 120 games? How? How are they not going to win 120 games?
Right.
Right?
I don't have that answer.
Yeah.
I mean, I said 130 after the second game of the season.
To me, it's the easiest bet over 105.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
But, I mean, forget about the betting aspect of it. I'm just talking about just in –
They should have – what's the record? The Mariners had the record?
116.
They should blow that away.
Because the best part of it is they have the pitching. They have the depth at pitching. They have the aces at pitching. Then they have the hitters. They have the studs. They have the MVP. They have the all-stars. Usually when a team loses, like a starter or two, hey, look, this guy's down, this guy's down. A team struggles. And they fight. They go 500 or maybe 60% if they're lucky, but it's a struggle. They can lose 2-3 guys and it doesn't matter. Their next man up is an all-star.
Yep.
Their seventh man up is the third best player on most MLB teams. So to your point, 115 or 116, excuse me, look out.
Cubs in 1906, 116 wins. 2001 Mariners, 116 wins.
You know what happened to that team? The Yankees beat them. They swept them the next round.
That's right. Lost in the ALCS,
Yep.
and the Cubs lost the World
something
Series in
happened.
1906,
Wasn't
too.
there a controversy call in the first game?
You might be right.
And then after that, it was
It's a long time ago, but you might be right.
I will be that guy, though, that, says the obvious here about Shohei Ohtani and the Dodgers. 78% of the country lives in the Eastern and Central time zones.
Yeah.
How many, even for a guy like me that loves sports, that loves the Dodgers, that loves Shohei Ohtani,
I wanted to
he's my
wake you
favorite
last
player. He's my favorite player. He's my favorite player, period, amongst all sports. Shohei Ohtani. It's not even. There's not even a close second right now. I just appreciate
He's
him
Tiger
so
Woods.
much. He is Tiger
Yeah.
Woods.
Like,
That's
Go
league
ahead.
of his
You know
own.
what this feels like? I don't think they're going to break the record. You know what it feels like? 73-9, Golden State Warriors win. And in the very next year, what player did they add? Kevin Durant. Everybody said, oh, my God, it's just good. They're going to blow everybody out. Now, granted, it was easy in the playoffs. They didn't break the record. But I think this feels like a KD to Golden State move.
Yeah.
Nobody could beat Golden State with KD. That's what this feels like.
Fair enough. I mean,
Yeah.
fair enough. Look, the Phillies could absolutely probably. Who's going to deny that the Phillies could compete with them? I thought the Braves would be that team too. To be quite honest with you.
Padres 8-0.
Padres, yeah, exactly.
Phillies they keep choking in the playoffs every
Yes.
year.
Well, they can't get
Every
past the
year.
Thank you,
Dodgers.
Braylon.
They not this past season, the year before they choked.
84.
'Cause they were up. They should have won that year.
I'm just saying, amongst all players, he is my favorite player in all of sports right now, Shohei Ohtani. I hate that he plays in Los Angeles. And it's not about for the Dodgers and what they're doing. I just hate that he plays at 10 o'clock at night every night.
Yep.
I mean, and it's the same with, the thing about the NBA, they do it a little bit better because you see these Laker games.
They'll push them up.
They will. You know, Laker games will start at like, I don't know, 9:30 or 9 o'clock, or you get an 8 o'clock Laker tip. And I know you get that on the road, but I hate to be that guy that comes in and says, well, plays for the Dodgers, nobody can see him. Well, 80% of the country lives in the Eastern and Central time zone. Is he truly appreciated the way he should be appreciated because of the eyeballs on him or the lack of eyeballs on him? I wake up in the morning and this like kind of the first thing I do. I know it's real dorky, but kind of the first thing I do is look for Shohei. You know, see what he did the night before.
Just get the Google alerts.
Fine.
Yeah.
He's going to lead Twitter. He's going to lead X.
Yeah.
They're going to have his videos on there. And I watched it on MLB Network, so I heard Matt Veskurgin, who I love.
I got Joe Davis.
But Joe Davis was their home guy, and he's terrific as well. He's the reincarnation of Joe Buck, except maybe even a step better.
Yeah. I like Joe Davis a lot. I mean, and I appreciate an announcer.
He's a Michigan guy.
Yeah. I appreciate an announcer that doesn't say a word. and lets the pictures tell the story. Last night's call, and we can't play that. We can't play that. No, we get pulled down. Yeah. But last night's call, you hear the public address announcer, and now batting the designated hitter Shohei Ohtani. Doesn't say a word. First pitch, Ohtani. That was it. And it's like, man, that's such a lost art. You know, it's such
Fabulous.
a lost art.
Wasn't that his bobblehead night
He
too?
can give you the bio and talk through the at bat
Right.
and tell all these types of things. And Shohei is actually batting, and funny story and blah blah
Right.
blah. And now
I
you
hate
look
when
up
they
and you
throw
miss
the
it.
interviews and there's players batting. I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate
Oh
it.
yeah,
I agree.
When they miss something.
Interviewing the
Yeah,
outfielders
100%.
and things like that.
Yeah.
I think it's great in the All-Star game. In the
Every
during
day.
the season, the regular game, it gives me a feel like you're not taking. And I don't want to be the guy. Like it's not serious. Like All-Star game
100%.
feels great. It's casual. It's very loose.
Yes.
Interviewing is different. Like mic'd up in the NFL, like you just have a mic on a player and then you just go. Like the player's going, he's not interviewing. This is
You're only
and
hearing what they want you to hear anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're doing infielders sometimes too.
Right.
Which is crazy to me.
I mean, they're great though because they still
agree.
make catches.
Yeah,
even when they're
right.
doing it.
Right.
So, shout out to them.
Before we get to the NFL, Pistons last night lose 119-103 to the Oklahoma City Thunder.
They don't beat the West.
No,
That's
they
all.
don't, but they were shorthanded too. No
Yes.
Cade Cunningham, no
Right.
Sasser, no Ron Holland, no Isaiah
Stu.
Stewart. And they were down 4 with about 4 to go in the
They
game.
came back.
They came
That's
back.
another
They
team that
fought.
don't quit.
Seriously. And look, they beat 2 of the league's best in the last month of the season, the Celtics by 20, and then the Cavs at home without Cade Cunningham. So, to me last night, I wasn't counting them out against OKC, even shorthanded, and they had a chance at the end. They just fell short. Tom Gores, by the way, did you see the letter that
I
he
did.
put?
I did.
In recent days, our team has faced scrutiny stemming from the moments of intensity on the court. Let me be absolutely clear. We stand behind our players. I thought it was unnecessary a little bit because I think they're getting applauded widely for this kind of play. But it kind of keeps the bad boys and the way they're in the news. It kind of keeps that going a little bit because when the owner speaks up about it, it says something.
Yeah, but that wasn't about the players. And that wasn't about support for them. That was about people. That was about him putting the message out there so that people could say, hey, Tom Gores, another right move by him. He's supporting the team. He got rid of Monty Williams. He brought in Trajan Langdon. So that was him looking for a personal win. And I understand it. I don't mind it. The Pistons fought hard. They fought hard, and I don't believe in, what you call them, when you lose but you still take something out
Moral
of it.
win?
The moral victories, if you will. I don't necessarily believe in them, but they didn't have Cade. They didn't have Tobias. They played strong. They played well. Look, they played the team that's coming out of the West. Like, they played the team that's coming out of the West, and now they have Chet Holmgren. We didn't have to see him last time we played them. They had Chet Holmgren, SJ. They had 5 players in double digits. 4 of those had 20 or more. So it's nothing about OKC. It's more about the Pistons. I think watching that, though, if Cade's able to come back this Saturday against Memphis, play well, who's to say they can't make some noise in the eastern side of the playoffs? Because they definitely have that grit. I agree.
John Moran got in a little trouble again.
He's an idiot.
I mean, he points his finger at Steph Curry like he's shooting him.
Can I have this one, man?
Please.
My God.
Kid can't get out of his own way.
Wow.
Look, man, brother to brother, black man to black man. Come on, bro. Like, so many of us have out here supported you. When you was going through the whole gun stuff, we was like, look.
Twice.
Like, yo, 4 times. 4
God,
times.
Right.
We was like, yo, you can't do that. But still standing up, still supporting him. Even this year, Maz, as he's lost $200 million due to the suspensions, due to the gun gestures and the part that they told him not to do. Even this year, I said, okay, cool. Seems like he's got his head on straight. Seems like Memphis, he's quietly scoring 25 points. I said, okay, this is the year. And then he does that. But Maz, what pisses me off even more about this brother that everybody's supporting. Now it's regardless because everybody's supporting. They want to see Ja Morant doing good. Did you see his response to it when he got fined, when he got in trouble? His response on X, as Ryan always says, Ja this, Ja that, with emojis behind it. When are you going to learn, son? You already lost $200 million. The NBA don't need you. It moved right past you. Insert Paolo Banchero. Insert Trae Young. Insert all these players. There's a lot of players. Insert Cade Cunningham, who's taking the next step.
Cade pushed him right out.
Jalen Green is trying to figure out. Tyrese Halliburton. They've moved you right out of the picture. And I just don't get it. And there's no remorse.
Nope.
Like, Ja, you're going to wake up one day and you're going to be like, damn, what if I didn't? I just don't get it.
You see what Steph just looked at him, and Steph was like,
Because Steph is one of the ones.
he's like, what are you doing? He just put his hands up. What are you doing?
It's Steph.
Like, Steph is like, I can't, like, they giving you money. Like, all you have to do is just hoop.
He's got to be one of the reasons, probably the reason, that they fired their coach with a winning record last week.
You know what he's about to lose, man. You know what? The only thing he's still hanging on to is the shoe deal. He still has the shoe deal. Guess what? Nike is like, we don't support this type of behavior. That's why Steph looked at him like that. The NBA is throwing money at players on the court and off the court. That's what that look from Steph was like. What are we doing?
We're playing basketball. Bro.
Basketball players are billionaires now.
Yeah.
They are billionaire properties. Billionaire properties. He could have been that.
Yeah.
He could have been the face of the league, truly.
Yeah.
They wanted him.
He was on his way.
You know,
on his way, yeah.
that there was probably no more fun atmosphere in the NBA than a couple of years ago before the gun incident.
Yeah.
Then a Memphis Grizzlies basketball game, you know, in the playoffs, and they were playing damn good basketball. And we'll see what happens. I'm rooting for him. You hope people get out of their own way or have some sort of light bulb moment or some sort of aha moment, but some people just don't get it. You can lead the horse to water.
Can't make him drink.
I hope nothing bad happens to him.
Agreed.
Eventually.
If they still believe,
law of averages, man.
If they still believe in him, remember the conversation we had? And who would you take, Ja Morant or Zion Wood? Looks like we both were wrong. I took Zion, but with Ja, if they still believe in him, if they're still willing to invest some money in him, it may be worth going to get Tony Allen and bringing Tony Allen back. Tony Allen is the Memphis Grizzlies organization. He's Mr. Defensive Player of the Year. He's a good guy, understands it. Maybe they might want to go get and bring him back as somebody that can help guide him.
I think it's time for him to be in another team.
Yeah, Memphis just ain't it.
Guys, we're going heavy NFL draft. We'll do it next. Some news at the top of the draft regarding Shedeur Sanders as well. But first, a message from Les Stanford, Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. Buick GMC has some great offers. 2024 Envision, only $299 per month. What about the 2025 Sierra Crew Cab Elevation, $229 per month? How about the 2025 Hummer EV SUV, $799 per month? Get to Les Stanford today. Check out their massive inventory or that QR code above my head right now. Just click on that, and that'll take you to all the vehicles that they have currently in their possession. Les Stanford Buick GMC, LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com.
Together, let's drive.
Listen, I'm not sure who, but somebody let the Tigers get hot.
The Detroit Tigers are locked and loaded for another great summer in Detroit. And it all starts downtown at the biggest home opener party in the city. Join Woodward Sports at Grand Slam Festival as we take over the Detroit Opera House parking lot. A big-ass tent for a big-ass Detroit party. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFestival.com or follow Woodward Sports on X and IG for your chance to get in for free. Party across from Comerica Park and hear the roar as the Tigers take the field for the first time in 2025. DJs, food trucks, bartenders, live broadcasts, and more. See you for the Tigers' first home game of the season, April 4th at the Grand Slam Festival with Detroit's biggest party animals, Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. In that Planet Fitness, they understand that. They also understand about not hitting you over the head with prices, man, because they got fitness that fits into your budget. Look, you come down to Planet Fitness, you get a membership. I told you about the app. Look, man, it's even easier to tap the app. Boom. It's right there. It's available for you. Get a membership. You also get a trainer with that membership. It's not an extra cost. This is the gym, and also squeaky clean gyms, and there's no judgment. Work out your own pace, whatever you want to get in. Today I got a little bit of shoulders in. Nobody bothered me. They let me do my thing. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
And let me tell you about Buddy's Pizza, a Detroit original. Are you kidding me? No other place to get your pizza than Buddy's. That's right. Been serving pizza since 1946. 79 years later, 22 locations in the state of Michigan. Sign up for Buddy's Rewards to earn points on every purchase and receive exclusive promotions. Download that Buddy's Pizza mobile app. Start earning today, and you can save $10 off your entire order. You want some pizza, some salads? Got to get that antipasto salad with the best salad dressing you'll ever taste in your life. It's right at Buddy's. 10%. Use the promo code 10MEAL. That's the number 10, MEAL. Buddy'sPizza.com, Buddy'sPizza.com.
You know how Kirk Gibson always shows up here and gets his haircut at Lady Jane's? I just saw Jason Benetti just walking down the street.
That's what I thought it was.
Right behind you.
That's who that is.
Yeah, Tigers play-by-play.
Right behind you on the other side of
on
the other side of the glass.
Hey,
That's
Jason.
right. That's right, absolutely. Guys, we're going to talk some NFL draft right now. And the 2-round mock draft came out yesterday on ESPN.com. Field Yates, who does a nice job. And the player that's getting all the buzz right now, and I don't know if it's buzz in a good way, it's Shedeur Sanders. Cam Ward expected to go number 1 to Tennessee. I still think, I'm not even sure that's going to happen. But this draft feels completely unsettled at the top. The New York Giants in this mock draft select Shedeur Sanders number 3. They have signed in the last week Russell Wilson and
Jameis Winston. They're clueless.
Do they feel like they can get a year out of these guys and then worry about quarterback next year? Because Shedeur Sanders, if he falls, if the Giants pass on him and say, hey, you know what, we're going to go with the kid from Colorado, what's his name? Travis Hunter. If we go Travis Hunter there, then you've got Travis Hunter and Malik Neighbors in New York. Maybe Abdul Carter falls to the Giants. these are elite players that you build your team with if you're not sold on Sanders or if you feel like you can get a quarterback next year. To me, this version of the New York Giants feels like the final year of Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia, to where you have Tua Tagovailoa and Justin Herbert staring you in the face, but you know that if you take one of those players, you will never see the fruits of their labor. You will never get to coach those guys when they become that player. And you have to win games today. So if you're Joe Shane and Brian Daboll, and you have to win to keep your job,
Frickin' frack.
who is going to help you win more games this year? Is it Travis Hunter? Is it Abdul Carter? Or is it Shedeur Sanders? And I think that's an easy selection. So a couple of different questions here. One, what do you do if you're the Giants, because it feels like the draft starts at 3? And number 2, where does Sanders fall if he gets beyond the Giants at 3?
Wow.
It could go for a little while and by the way, I thought if he got to 12 to Dallas, that would be the landing spot for him. Well, just today, the Dallas Cowboys traded for Joe Milton. So I'm not sure that would be a landing spot for him either. Braylon, you have the floor.
Thank you for leaving me with that pot to fill out. Yeah, it's interesting. If Shedeur got past the Giants, I think that he would probably go to the Raiders. I think he would go to the Raiders because I think the Geno situation is a front-loaded contract like he signed with the Seattle Seahawks. I think they need a quarterback. Yeah. There is a history of Deion and Tom Brady. That may mean nothing, but there is an actual history there with them as friends. I think that would be a good situation for him. I think Shedeur is a lot better than people give him credit for. I think there are some concerns, but every year there's concerns at the quarterback position. Every year it gets a little harder. It's like, oh, what about this or what about that? Or he played at a HBCU. Are we really counting that level of competition? Well, the Pac-12 and Colorado, they weren't that good, and he has a little bit of this. I think a lot of that is now, but people know deep down he's a good quarterback. So if he gets past the Giants somehow, I think the Raiders would be the move. It'd be a similar situation to the Falcons last year, essentially bringing in Kirk Cousins and drafting Michael Penix Jr.
It would certainly be interesting, Maz, the Raiders there, but at the same time, their head coach is 176 years old. And I don't know if he ain't got 3 years.
They just signed their quarterback of the future.
Huh?
They just signed their quarterback of the future.
Not of the future.
No, the Raiders. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah,
the Seahawks. Oh, see, yeah. I got them at the Seahawks still.
Yeah,
Sam Darnold.
Yeah,
I'm just talking about Pete Carroll.
I thought Pete
is
Carroll
70-some years old, and does he want to rebuild? If you have, and it goes back to what are you as an organization? Because I don't think you can just give years away and be like, oh, we're going to give up on the 2025 year because we know we could be good in 2026 or 2027.
But
if you've got Ashton Genty and you're the Raiders and you can run the football to help out your quarterback that's not elite, and you've got Max Crosby, you can stop the run, you can get after the quarterback defensively, you can run the football, you can be dynamic offensively that way. I mean, is Shedeur Sanders your guy? Is he that great of a player where you're going to say, yes? Raiders, an absolutely interesting spot. I just don't know if a 74-year-old head coach is the landing spot there because of a win-now mentality.
I think you got to start operating from the standpoint that Pete Carroll's in control. How do we not know that the conversation was had by Davis, by Brady? Hey, look, we need you here. We know you know your stuff. We know you're a Super Bowl champion coach, that type of cachet. But this is our show. This is what we're doing. This is the draft pick we want. We want to pick up a quarterback. We want our guy. Or if we want to make a move and it's there, then that's our prerogative. I believe a conversation like that may have been had. Because like you said, he is 76, and they aren't building in Pete Carroll's image. They're building in the new regime's image, but Pete Carroll happens to be the right now head coach.
I believe the draft starts at 2. I think the Cleveland Browns are not going to wait around anymore. And you hear all kinds of rumors. Cleveland's going to go after Kirk Cousins. They're going to sign him as soon as Atlanta lets him go, lets him walk. Cleveland will get him for nothing. I think they draft a quarterback. I believe it'll be back-to-back quarterbacks. I believe if it's not Jackson Dart or Shedeur Sanders, I don't know.
Who are you saying
man.
trades up?
So
I say Cleveland at number 2 is going to take a quarterback.
But was that the question?
Because he says the draft starts at 3.
Yeah.
I say it starts at 2.
Oh, well, you asked 3 different questions then.
Yeah.
The question I heard was if Shedeur Sanders slips.
Yeah, but
where
whatever
does he
you
go?
else want to talk about.
Oh, okay. I would answer the questions on the sheet.
Oh. But yeah, I mean,
don't forget the Saints sitting at 9. They need a quarterback.
I don't think Cleveland takes a quarterback if they're going to go sign
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins.
Really?
Oh, from the Kirk Cousins lover himself?
I love Kirk Cousins. How long is he going to be? How long is he going to be there? You still need to draft your new quarterback.
That's the thing with this NFL we're living in today, though, Bray, because even look at Cleveland. Kevin Stefanski, widely viewed as a really, really good head coach. He can't miss the playoffs again. Can he? Can he go another year without missing the playoffs?
Yeah, but no, he can't. But the problem is when your owner wants to sink $235 million guaranteed dollars into a quarterback that's mentally and physically not there for 4 years, it makes him look terrible. And he's got to patchwork it through Joe Flacco, Jameis Winston, insert quarterback here. So it's tough, and he probably will get fired, but it ain't his fault. Like, it's the owner of the Cleveland Browns. It's the franchise of the Cleveland Browns for always putting themselves in situations like that. They got rid of Baker Mayfield. Now, whether he was ready or not to get rid of, they got rid of Baker Mayfield.
So I guess that's really just comes down to a philosophical question then. When you've sunk that much money into a quarterback, do you want to go with a rookie quarterback because you need a quarterback on a rookie deal? Or, Kirk Cousins is going to cost you nothing. It will cost you absolutely nothing. And so do you build up your team around it? And that's what we do with the Lions here a lot too. You talk about putting Jared Goff in a position where he has such a great team around him. It makes him probably look a lot better than maybe he even is.
If I'm the Giants, I'm taking Abdul Carter. I'm not even looking back. Travis Hunter will be my second choice.
Why does it have to be either or? Why can't they get Kirk Cousins and draft Shedeur Sanders? Like, I feel like so much has been made of Shedeur Sanders. We've let them or they, whoever they are talking about Shedeur Sanders, to make us think that the pick is going lower than that. Shedeur Sanders is the quarterback. Cleveland Browns need a quarterback. They are paying Deshaun Watson regardless if they keep him or not. They're paying him that money. So your best bet, get a cheap Kirk Cousins as well as a draft pick, number 2 quarterback overall that's going to be the future of your fan base.
Well,
if I was Deion, I wouldn't want him to go there. But
Field Yates has Cam Ward, then he's got Abdul Carter, then he's got Sanders to the Giants. Travis Hunter slips to the Patriots. I know Mike Vrabel would love to have him. And then the Jags take Mason Graham, and then Ashton Genty goes to the Raiders.
And that's what Adam Schefter was talking about the Patriots today, because worst case scenario for the Patriots is the Giants don't take Shedeur Sanders. If the Giants don't take Shedeur Sanders, well, then they lose out on either Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter.
Correct.
They want one of those players, Carter or Hunter.
Jeez.
That is who the Patriots are banking on getting. One of those players slipping down to them.
Those two guys
Sanders
can
is
make
the
it.
wild card there. The Giants are the wild card. Maybe even, Maz, as you say, maybe the Browns are the wild card. And are we totally sure that the Titans are taking Cam Ward?
Unless they trade it.
yeah, the trade for them, in my opinion, would be best. Like adding more draft capital, adding more players. Like, that's how you get good in this league. The Titans aren't good. That's how you get better. So that's what I would do. But at the end of the day, though, he is a quarterback. Talking about Cam Ward, that fits all the measurables. As they say, maybe not the height one so much, but he's tall enough. He's dynamic. He can play. You need a quarterback.
Their stadium will open in another year. They got one more year to make their new stadium, the new Nissan Stadium, open. So they could. This year is like a trial and error for them. I mean, they're not going to win this year. So
Trade the pick.
Who knows? Who knows
agree.
what they're going to do?
Go ahead.
Cleveland's the key.
Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders. You've seen them both play. Who is your franchise quarterback?
Mavs.
Well, the guy that's moving up the charts is is Jackson Dart. Someone said he's going to be a top 10 pick now. But out of those two guys, I got to go with the more of the sure thing. I would take Cam Ward over Shedeur Sanders. I would. And plus, I think he comes with less baggage, to tell you the truth.
What baggage does Shedeur Sanders come with?
He's always in the news. It's because his dad,
But
whatever.
what does he? What?
That's my opinion.
I was just asking your
And I just
definition
gave it to you.
of baggage.
He's always in the news.
Okay. Cam Ward, but I think he's played a higher level college football atmosphere. I think he's a trench baby, as they say. Got it out the mud, like he's hungry. And this is no disrespect to Shedeur. I think Shedeur is a hell of a talent. But very rarely is the one that comes after a great one is good or is great. Very rarely is that. Cam Ward, I think his measurables are a little bit better. I think it's something about him. There's some moxie about him that I like. Moxie is the word that I'm using. I like the moxie about him. Give me that.
I just don't think there's anybody in this class that can come close to anybody in last year's class. That's the problem. That's the problem with this year's quarterback class. If Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward were in last year's quarterback class, where would they get picked? Penix, Nix,
Right.
JJ, Caleb, and Jaden. You know, that's kind of what you're doing here. And that's
agree.
really what the decision is for the Giants and Cleveland to a certain
I
extent.
agree.
If those two quarterbacks were in last year's draft, where would they go amongst those five quarterbacks?
Late first, mid-second.
And someone's going to take Quinn Ewers in this draft.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he's not even. I don't even think he's.
At one point, he was the guy, right?
Yeah, he was. He was. But I mean,
We
Quinn
don't even
Ewers
talk
to me
about
is
him.
no. Well, we've watched him play too. You know what I mean? He's played himself into the third
Oh,
round.
Who's the Ohio
He's
State
played himself.
quarterback?
He's played Will Howard.
He's another guy that's getting talked about.
Well, you know why he's getting talked about too?
because he's a quarterback.
Gruden quarterback camp.
Yes.
You know, these quarterback camp, the Barstool Gruden quarterback camp
Yep.
now is insane. And those are the guys that are doing this camp. I don't know. I just don't know about these quarterbacks. Like I said, Cam Ward to me, is he a sure thing? I don't know. I don't think he's
When's the last QB like? When's the last brother to fail? Realistically, like at this position, Cam, Shedeur. When's the last time top 5 quarterback has failed?
Bryce Young hasn't been great.
You said what?
Bryce Young hasn't been
Okay,
great.
I'm just saying.
But I'm rooting for him. He came back
Bryce
last
Young,
year.
Trevor Lawrence. I
got
don't think he's great. You know, I mean, you're talking top 5 guys. I mean, I'm just.
I was thinking about more so.
Yeah,
I was
I
thinking
mean-
a little bit differently. I was thinking.
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking a bit differently.
Yeah. Are you just thinking of black?
Yes.
I was wondering why you didn't just say it. I was like, am I thinking of something else that he meant?
Right.
C.J. Stroud worked.
Right.
Lamar Jackson
Yeah.
worked. Deshaun
Well,
Watson worked.
keep in mind, Lamar was the 30th pick of the draft.
And whose fault is that?
Yeah.
That's
Right.
the other.
Right.
He was 32
Right.
actually.
I'm just talking about top
crazy.
5
He should have been the
quarterbacks,
top
yeah.
5. He was the
You
number
know?
1 quarterback in the
Yeah.
conference. I mean,
And
in the country.
You look at, okay, let me make a comparison for
Yeah.
you. And maybe this isn't a good comparison, but I'll give you a comparison. A couple of years ago, Kenny Pickett, first quarterback off the board. I'm talking first quarterback.
Yeah.
Now, it was what, pick 20, pick 21,
Late
something
first
like
round.
that. But how did that
was
work
like pick
out for
28.
him?
Right.
So, again, if you reach for a quarterback in a non-quarterback year, and maybe these guys are going to be Pro Bowlers, all pros, and it doesn't matter. But it feels like the consensus is that these guys are only being discussed this high because there's nobody else in this draft. And I just think Kenny Pickett is a perfect recent example of when you take a guy, when you reach, when you really don't believe
They were desperate.
there's a franchise quarterback in the draft. And I'm just not sure about these guys. And I think you want to be sure. Look, I feel like I was positive that Bryce Young wasn't going to be good either. I never saw it in Bryce Young. I never saw it.
How about Mac Jones? Was another guy that
Mac
they
Jones,
thought that
Mac Jones is
Patriots-
a perfect example.
But
But
the Patriots bounced back after that.
Mac was cheeks. Like Mac was a product of everybody around him was an All-American.
I agree.
Like, Mac Jones, AJ
Same with
McCarron.
Bryce Young, though, right?
True. True, but I saw some Bryce Young wins.
Right.
Like I saw Bryce Young go the length of the field to win games, to get them in overtime to win against Auburn. I never saw that out of Mac Jones. I saw Mac Jones drop back and throw the ball to insert which one he's All-American, including one that won the Heisman Trophy. So, tad bit different.
Yeah. Anthony Richardson, B. Martin says.
Someone brought up Vince Young's name.
You know, that's a great B. Martin. Anthony Richardson's
I
a great.
told you he was going to be bad.
Exactly, but what happened? The
combine happened.
Well, he started out in the late 20s, and then here comes the conversation. Here he is in the teens. Oh, maybe top 10, and then 4? That's what happens when teams are so desperate for a quarterback.
Exactly.
They see these goo gaga eyes.
That's the world we live in today, because what happens is these teams and these GMs and these owners, front office, they're starting to pay attention to the fans. Who are the fans getting excited about, which is the craziest thing. We watched Anthony Richardson's film. He didn't have that much.
Right.
He had like 6 games of film.
Hey, I got suckered.
And the one game, what was it? Will Levis versus Anthony Richardson might have been the worst college football game I've ever seen.
I was waiting for somebody to say
That was
it.
a low-scoring game, I remember.
Here's Alex.
Oh, Malik Willis.
Malik Willis fell hard. But he did.
He looks good. In the NFL, he looks the part.
He did fall hard, right? I mean,
At least he's still in the league.
absolutely. He did fall, though. A lot of people expected him, I think, to get drafted a lot earlier than he was.
So next year, who's the big man? Arch Manning?
Well, but
we don't even know what he can do.
The thing
yet.
about Arch Manning, he's played like 1 game in
Right.
college.
Yeah.
You
We don't
know
know
what
what
I
he
mean?
can
Couple good plays.
We have no idea. No idea what he can do at all.
He's a Manning.
The problem is when he's like with the quarterback position today, as they teach in college, like these kids are doing all this skill stuff. So they go to all the camps, they got all the guru passing coaches, and they go do that. They learn all this drop back, and so they're implementing that. And then once you go in college, you got offensive line protecting. Like just look at the good quarterbacks in college football now. Look at the good systems. They don't see a pass rush. They're not out there having to dissect defenses and really put it on their shoulders and get it. They're simply operating from a state of it's hard to explain.
It's like AAU basketball.
Yeah,
it's
100%.
essentially it's one of the reasons why the NBA kind of sucks now.
Yeah, quarterbacks don't know what it means to go through the process of being a quarterback. Like it's
right. It's why all these European guys who are playing pro basketball at such a young age, team basketball at such a young age. You know, our kids are going to AAU, a lot of one-on-one basketball. Yeah. This is what I can do. And college basketball kind of sucks. NBA kind of sucks because it's the mentality that we're in. Quarterbacks now, all these 7-on-7 camps, and this South, it's a mess out there. You're right. Nobody's reading coverages. Nobody's scheming their wide receivers open.
Yeah, 100%. Like it just sucks. It sucks.
My next question on this list: which player do you see making the most impact in year one? And really, what this comes down to is, well, it could be anybody. I mean, there's a lot of first-round picks on here. Which player do you see making the most impact in year one?
I'm gonna go Mason Graham, and it's not because I'm a Michigan guy.
It's funny you say that.
You got him as well. It's not.
No, I don't have him, but I have got a different Michigan guy.
Well, Will, it's not because I'm a Michigan guy. It's just because I'm honest. Like what the position that he plays, he's a defensive tackle, and he can rush the quarterback. He was dominant last year at the point of attack. You saw that in the Alabama game. You saw that in the Ohio State game. He can also get to the quarterback. He's just not a big guy in the middle taking up space. DJ Reader is a great guy at taking up space and stopping the run. He doesn't get to the quarterback. Mason Graham does that in spades. In the draft, Ryan, like 2025, who's going to be ready this year? That immediate impact. And I think
Ashton Genty is going to be.
Whoever drafts Mason Graham, it's not about a system that he has to fit into. He can be in a 4, he can be in a 3, and he'll be perfectly fine. I think sign him up. He's your impactful player.
And Field Yates has him going number 5 to the Jacksonville Jaguars, defensive tackle from Michigan. They passed on a defensive end from Michigan a couple of years ago, and I don't think they're going to do that again. Pass on a defensive lineman from Michigan. The Jacksonville Jaguars did that. I'm going to go with Will Johnson as the player that will make the most immediate impact. In this mock draft, he's going number 13 to the Miami Dolphins. Will Johnson, to me, and we've seen this over the last couple of years where guys right out of the gate just make an immediate impact, most notably the New York Jets from Detroit, Sauce Gardner. I mean, he came in and lit the league on fire. So good right out of the gate. I think Will Johnson is going to have that same type of impact for the Miami Dolphins or wherever he goes in year one. Will Johnson for me. And it feels like Johnson's got something a little bit to prove as well, because I think a lot of people saw him as a top 5 pick, but he didn't play much this year at all. He did not do the combine, did not work out at the combine, did not work out at Michigan's Pro Day. Feels like a little bit of an enigma, and he is dealing with an injury. So I think he's falling a little bit, and probably appropriately. But when it comes down to it, he is an absolute sure thing, in my opinion. Will Johnson is the player that will make the most impact as a rookie in year one.
I'm going with defense, and I'm going with Abdul Carter. And I know he's injured right now, but I believe whoever takes that guy, and I would tell you this, if I'm the Lions, and that's not going to happen, I try to move up to get him, because then you are the perfect team.
Another injured player?
If you get that kid. And I know it's impossible. Give up your number 1 this year, maybe a number 1 next year. I don't know. I would do it, because I always said that side of the line, that's all you need to make your defense complete. I think you got the secondary covered. Linebackers are okay. Defensive line coming together. Defensive edge rusher. I think Abdul Carter will. And I know the Giants have a lot of great players on defense. If I'm them, I'm not letting him get by me. I'm taking him. I'll make my defense better, and I'll ride with these quarterbacks for now and figure out my QB later down the line. Abdul Carter is my guy. He's the best guy in the draft.
Guys, I want to continue on this conversation. We'll let you know where Field Yates has the Lions going in round 1 and round 2. What about the Michigan guys? 4 Michigan players in this 2-round mock draft. Also, what is the team that you expect to make the biggest jump next year in the NFL at the top of the draft? A top 10 team that is expected to make the biggest jump. We'll have that for you. But first, a message from us here at WSN.
That's right, everybody. You are currently watching Woodward Sports, and you can watch us, all of our programming, 24/7 on these 6 family members that we have over here. You can catch our programming on YouTube, Instagram, X, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitch. Come like, share, join, subscribe. Come be a part of our family. We love having you guys around. We hope that you having us around as well. We'll be right back with more Ermanni and Edwards with Maz.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Oh, yeah, everybody. Gambling season is here. You got to scan that QR code above my head. Use that code word over there, Woodward1000. Open up your brand new Caesars Sportsbook account. When you make your first deposit, you'll make your first bet. If that first bet happens to lose, you'll get your first bet back as a bonus bet up to $1,000, but only if you scan that QR code and use that code word, Woodward1000, to get your brand new Caesars Sportsbook account. Tom Mazaway.
All right, guys, it's opening day. We've made it. It's tomorrow. It's also Anson's birthday. Join us for Tigers opening day, Woodward Sports' biggest and best party in the D. It's the Grand Slam Festival, the outdoor tent party at the Detroit Opera House, brought to you by Mad Packs and White Claw. WSN will be there all day long up to our show. Then we'll have the watch party after that. Don't miss. Get your tickets right now. GrandSlamDetroit.com. Again, GrandSlamDetroit.com is Woodward Sports opening day party, brought to you by Mad Packs and White Claw.
Hour number 2 of the program, Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazaway. We got Pete Spivak, Ricky Burns with us as well. Talking a little NFL draft. Field Yates dropped this 2-round mock draft yesterday. We're having some fun with it today. Top 10 teams, guys. I want to go 5 at a time here, okay? I'm going to give you a team, and you tell me which team you expect to have the biggest turnaround this year. I'm going to go 1 to 5 and then 6 to 10, okay? Titans, Browns, Giants, Patriots, Jags. I'm going to give you those teams again. Titans, Browns, Giants, Patriots, Jags. Those are the top 5 teams in this year's NFL draft. Which one do you expect to have the biggest turnaround this season?
It's something about Mike Vrabel going back to Foxborough. It's something about Mike Vrabel is now the head coach of the New England Patriots. They picked 4 in this draft. I think they got the quarterback last year. We saw some good things out of Drake May. Saw some acquisitions that they did in the offseason to help that defense out. Christian Gonzalez is really stepping up as a really nice DB in this league. So they pick up Travis Hunter, which I got another answer for you about that. But I think it's Mike Vrabel, New England Patriots.
I can't disagree with that. But if you give me the top 6, I'll go to Raiders, because I think the Raiders.
Why don't you just say the Raiders for the next one?
Okay, I'll go with the New England Patriots, and that's my pick.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. That just came to a screeching halt.
He said 1 through 5, 6 through 10. I'm sorry, man. It's number 6. Go ahead.
Now, the Patriots are my team to get into the wild card over the Kansas City Chiefs this year.
Yeah, you said that before.
So I am going to go with New England here. I'm going to give you a second team.
How do you not?
My second team is the Browns.
Interesting.
I am going to finally, after years of not believing in Tom Mazaway, and say if they get Kirk Cousins, that's a damn good football team that's going to be hard to beat. Cousins, a year after the injury, much like Rodgers, a year after the injury, I think they're both going to be better than they were a year ago, much better than they were a year ago. So I'm going to say Patriots 1, Browns 1A. Spivak, Ricky, you guys got any picks here in the top 5?
I'm going to go with the Jaguars, only for the fact that as of right now, out of those teams that you mentioned, they have the better quarterback. And that's the only reason why I mean, Trevor Lawrence and then with the way that their offense is looking, it's wide open for improvement. I would have to say the Jags, for me, only based on them having the best quarterback. That's just personally.
I agree 100% with Braylon. Once I heard that Weber, he was going back. I can't say it today. As soon as I heard he was going back, I was like, yeah, it's going to turn it around.
I got to give Super Bowl Cartier a lot of credit for this, because I did not consider this, and it's a perfect fit. for Ashton Genty.
Yeah.
I love him going to the Bears. I love him going to the Raiders.
No, Patriots is right.
Why not Patriots? If you miss on, let's just for instance say Giants don't take Shedeur.
Yeah.
And then you do miss out on Travis Hunter and
Abdul Carter.
Good call.
Why wouldn't you take Ashton Genty there with your second-year quarterback? That is a perfect Mike Vrabel pick.
Good call.
Perfect Mike Vrabel pick. Ashton Genty.
They haven't had a good running game in a long time. I mean, hell, they used Ezekiel Elliott a little bit last year, so it might not be bad. I mean, I know the Bears will probably be licking their chops if he got by them, because I think the Bears sitting at number 10 would take him.
Oh, God, the Raiders, he wouldn't see he's not seeing 10.
Don't sleep. He may not get past 2. That's all I'm saying. He may not get past 2.
You know what?
I'm not. 2.
And when you
the running back is coming back.
Well,
right?
when you
Nick
think
Chubb is how many knee surgeries in?
Right.
You can't count on him.
Nash and Genty, Cleveland Browns.
And when you think about oh my gosh, the NFL taken by storm when the Lions picked Jahmyr Gibbs where they picked him. Yeah. I think that was such a shock, not only where they picked him, but then ultimately they were rewarded with that pick because he's probably a top 3, top 4 back in the entire NFL.
Easy.
So what does it matter where you pick a guy if you believe that he's that damn good for you? And Genty could be that guy. Did you see the body on this guy?
Yeah,
Did you see him with his shirt off?
He's a brick you-know-what house.
My God, I've never seen anything like it.
He's a brick
It's like a bowling ball. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, he's ripped. Yeah, he's ripped. He runs hard. It just be interesting to see, like, when you talk about drafting that high, and I understand he's ripped and all that, but he played at Boise State. Boise State and, Georgia. It's different playing against Idaho and Wyoming and, all those schools. It's different than playing Georgia and Florida and Auburn and Oregon, Alabama or Ohio State. So it'd be interesting to see how good is he in the NFL. Like, what's his level? Like, what's it going to look like? So, because that way he runs, remember, he runs very interesting. He's like very chill, very slow, very delayed, very pacey, and he takes off. It's like kind of like Alvin Kamara, if you will. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If the Saints get him, look out for them too.
Well,
that's Thunder
a
and
lot
Lightning.
of people said Kamara would be gone then if they
Thunder
went
and Lightning.
Let me include the Saints here because that was picks 1 through 5. Those teams. Here's picks 6 through 10. Okay, picks 6 through 10. Give me a team that you believe is going to take the biggest jump.
All right.
Raiders, Jets, Panthers,
10.
Saints, Bears.
Stop.
Oh yeah, right there.
Bears.
Bears.
Easy. Bears.
What's their cap?
I don't know. They might have spent it all.
They're over. No, their
You
over
talking
under
about-
this year is 8.5.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
When you
say
think about that, over
9
under
wins.
8.5.
9 wins.
Can the Raiders, Jets, Panthers, or Saints get to 9?
I don't think so.
I think the Jets can, and I'm gonna go with the Jets. I'm gonna take Aaron Glenn, defensive coordinator from Lions last year, and I'm gonna take my former team, the Jets. Aaron Glenn, we saw what he was a part of here. We also saw what he was able to do on his own, take him away from Dan Campbell, see the interaction with players, see what he was able to do with a defensive system and the scheme and just an identity. Kelvin Shepard's now the clone. He learned under AG. I like AG for that. I like AG for that team. And there's so much talent on that defensive side of the ball. You got Mosley. You have Quinnen Williams, who took a step down last year. He's looking for a reignite, as well as Sauce Gardner, King's own. It's a lot of talent on that defense, and I think he's the guy. So give me the Jets. The Jets win 10 games.
10 for the Jets. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I will say
we had him in the playoffs last year.
When you look at these teams, I always say coach and quarterback. Show me the coach and the quarterback, and I'll tell you who's going to win the game 99 times out of 100. Geno Smith, Justin Fields, Bryce Young, Derek Carr, Caleb Williams. Who's the best quarterback out of those 5 teams?
No, say it again.
Yeah.
Geno Smith, Justin Fields, Bryce Young, Derek Carr, Caleb Williams.
Last 5 years, Geno Smith.
Yeah, I like Geno. Yeah. I like Geno Smith.
But I would say Caleb Williams. I'm going with Caleb Williams.
Easy to say Geno Smith, isn't it? But I don't know.
Colin said today something about Caleb Williams that was really kind of like, yeah, you're right. He's like, you know what, all this Ben Johnson stuff, he's like, you'll know in 4 games.
Right.
You'll know what you have in 4 games.
Right.
If Caleb Williams is going to be the guy, you'll know it in 4 games.
Right.
You don't need half a season. You don't need the whole season. You don't need year 2. You're going to be able to tell whether Caleb Williams is an elite quarterback in the first month of the season. Thought that was an interesting take.
I thought he was pretty good last year,
schedule.
considering what he had to work with.
Yeah.
What did he have? What didn't he have? What didn't he
have?
have?
He had no offensive line.
Okay, well, they got an offensive line this
Yeah.
year because they spent $1 billion
Yeah.
on
And
this.
we don't know what the first 4 games look like yet. We'll wait to the schedule.
Right,
but
schedule.
hey, I love Colin. You know, when he throws it out there, sometimes he's right, sometimes he's wrong. But I believe that he's going to be a very good quarterback. It's just a matter of what they can put all together for him.
Yeah, I just think
we'll find out.
Yeah, Caleb Williams put himself, in a situation where a lot of people don't like him. I can understand if they don't. I think there was a lot that he didn't have last year, too. To answer your credit, Ryan, he has it this year, but last year he didn't. He didn't have an offensive line. He didn't have a coach that had a pulse on what the hell was going on. He didn't have, the belief of his teammates. Ben Johnson, I think, helps that for him, gives him a little more confidence. I've been with some teams where if your offensive coordinator and the system and the team ain't right, good players don't seem like they're good.
Mason Graham, 5 to Jacksonville. Will Johnson, number 13 to the Miami Dolphins. At number 21, going to the Los Angeles Chargers, Colston Loveland, the tight end from Michigan. 3 Michigan players in the first round of Field Yates mock draft. Right at the top of the second round, at pick number 34, 2 picks into round number 2, Kenneth Grant, defensive tackle from Michigan. So 4 Michigan players within the first 34 picks of the draft. I see Kenneth Grant there. And, he's such a great player in my opinion. I think he's a first-round pick for sure. When you look at what the Lions are doing, Field Yates has Derek Harmon, defensive tackle, Oregon.
Did Oregon even play defense this year?
Well, I don't know. I don't really know about that.
What?
I really don't know about that. But if you're sitting there and you're the Lions at 28 and you have the ability to take Kenneth Grant, I would take Kenneth Grant. Obviously, I'm going to take Kenneth Grant over an Oregon defensive player, the same position. But if you have an opportunity also to take Kenneth back up, let somebody else trade up into the first round, and you can trade back and get a guy like Kenneth Grant, I'd be in favor of that.
They see Baltimore taking this Pierce kid, James Pierce from Tennessee.
Yeah.
Wasn't he the guy that the Lions were really hot after?
Yes.
Wasn't he here to visit? You're gonna let Baltimore take a guy you like? Well, this is a mock draft.
Sure.
But if you think the Lions are just going to sit there and take this kid from Oregon, I don't think they will.
I
think if they like a guy, they're going to move up and get him.
Who are they going to trade with?
Who knows?
Green Bay at 23, Minnesota at 24.
They've traded with Minnesota in the past.
The Rams at 26 maybe to get ahead of Baltimore.
Yeah.
It is an interesting proposition.
Who knows? Houston's there, the Texans, a team that you don't have to worry about. They're in the AFC. Maybe you do some business with them. Colston Loveland to the Chargers.
Lions take Tate Ratledge, Georgia guard in round number 2. Lions lost Kevin Zeitler in free agency, and if they don't view either Christian Mahogany or Coyote Iwasaki, or I don't know how to say his name, guys. I'm sorry. As a lock at right guard, Ratledge would be a great pick. Look, defensive tackle, offensive line, round 1, round 2. I don't think anybody's got a problem with that.
No, they need defensive line. They need offensive line as well. The linemen are getting older. Taylor Decker, every year we talk about another year, more injuries. Frank Ragnow, 2 years ago, he almost retired. At least that's what it seemed like before the season. So you got to replace some guys. You got to make sure that line that has been so good over the last 4 years, make sure it stays intact. Because Jameer, Dave Montgomery, Jared Goff, they can't have that type of success in the future. If the Lions beat up and withered and not replaced.
Don't forget, they got 2 guys from last year's draft in the first round.
Projects.
Waiting for them. They got Mahogany and they got Giovanni Manu. So those guys, O-line, they've got some depth. Whether they believe in those guys or not, it's another story. I know they believe in Mahogany. Manu is another story, but they do say, matter of fact, Brad Holmes said it in the owners' meetings, that we expect him to take some reps this year and take a step forward.
Dan Campbell did talk about this defensive line. Because look, it's a sore spot for the Lions. McNeil is hurt. Hutchinson is hurt. Davenport has been hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Pascal has missed time. Reeder has missed time. these are the guys you're depending on, and this is where you could lose the Super Bowl. This is where you lose the NFC. This is where you could lose the division. Here's what Dan Campbell had to say earlier this week on the defensive line.
Yeah, look, for where we're at right now, we're excited. You know, we really got everybody back that we wanted to get. We thought it was important that we were, trying to make the most of what you have in free agency, but to get Davenport back. Certainly Hutch is coming back off injury. What we did with Mack early in the fall, we added Lopez to Reeder, until we get those guys back. Wingo's on injury, but then we feel good about where we're at, man. And we're not done either. That's the point. We're not done. And we don't know when. We don't know. Maybe it will be the draft. I mean, we're looking at everything. It could be after the draft, It could be any time, But at this point, with where we're at, we like where we're at. Getting Levi back was big.
All right, so that's Dan Campbell earlier this week at the NFL owners meetings. I wanted to play this for you too because so many people say the biggest jump that a player could have in their career is between year 1 and year 2. Terrion Arnold is a player that I think is hopefully going to take that leap. Here's Baldy randomly. Our good friend Brian Baldinger.
Yeah.
You think about all the players in the NFL, okay? And Baldy just randomly picks Terrion Arnold out as a guy that he wants to break down.
You probably heard us complaining about
Right.
it.
Here's Baldy breaking down Terrion Arnold.
Terrion Arnold, rookie season, 24th pick in the first round. Here he is, week 1 against the Rams, national TV against DeMarcus Robinson. Closes quickly on the ball right here, knocks it down. Here he is, he moved all over the place. Here he is talking to the safety right here. And he's got Cooper Kupp on the deep over route. All right, so he's got a veteran player. He's got Stafford, defends that pass perfectly. Here he is against Marvin Harrison Jr. Now they're going to motion the slot defender outside, so he's going to be in the slot. Marvin running the spray fade. Perfect position right there to defend that pass. All right, and then you get this right here. All right, you got the go route on the outside. Does a good job of making that play on the ball. All right, you get Tyler Lockett right here. From Seattle, a little stop route up at the top. Comes back, sticky, all season long, sticky in coverage. All right, but he also can play zone. Here he is against Tennessee. All right, that's Calvin Ridley right there. All right, so can you put that left foot in the ground and come back and make a break on the ball? Perfect. All right, well done. Now, you get this right here. 23-23 game. All right, fourth quarter. Now, can you press the outside right here and take Hutchinson away? Force this fourth down right here. Well played. Now, here he is against Jordan Addison, Minnesota, right? 4th and 2. Plastering for as long as he has to plaster. All right? Now, he does a great job here on Jordan Addison defending that ball in the end zone. The one thing he was guilty of last year, too many penalties. Got to win with your feet. He's got to improve upon that. Got to study that. Understand what the officials are looking at. With that, I think he's ready to start intercepting some balls and becoming a real factor on the Lions defense.
You people are sickos. I see the numbers. You talk Lions, boom. Lions people are great. I love it.
Well, now
it doesn't mean anything.
Right, I love it.
Yeah, now the team is good. They could care less about the drafts. Now you're picking pick 28, 29. It's different than when you're picking,
Boy, isn't it?
2 and 6.
Isn't it though?
2 is like, I gotta listen. I gotta see what are we doing today, even though it's the same. Look, Terrion Arnold's a kid that can play. Like the guy can play. He played in he played for Nick Saban at Alabama. Has talent. Want to see what it looks like this time around because a lot of those clips that Baldy put up there, those are some good highlights. A lot of that stuff is zone coverage though. That's not all Terrion Arnold in there. So if you're gonna put it up, be honest about it. That Calvin Ridley game, Calvin Ridley had like 170 in that game.
I know I asked you guys this yesterday, but I just got to do it again today because I was in a conversation with a guy today. Would you rather? I'm gonna use a baseball reference because it's a better reference than I have. Would you rather be the 1997 Marlins or the Tigers from 2006 to 2016?
Man.
I know I asked you that yesterday, but I was just talking about it again today.
97 Marlins.
Listen, I agree with you, but we have what's called loser's mentality. That's a loser's mentality. We just want to get there. And if we win, that's great.
No, I want to win it. The Marlins won the World Series.
So you want to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Or just be
Be the
inconsequential.
Steelers
like
of the last decade.
And you want to be the Marlins of today if you win that championship.
But I guess
Because they just spent, what, $40 million on their roster?
Yeah, I'm basically just kind of saying, like, wouldn't you want to just go all in 1 year? Like just 1 year, whatever it takes. I don't care if you give 4 first-round picks to the Raiders. Give the next 4 or 5.
If it guarantees
guarantees me a championship.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just my mentality. And pay the bill later.
Exactly.
And just suck for a decade.
Well,
we've sucked for 60 years.
60 years.
Like
We've sucked for 50 out of 60 years. We have.
We've sucked for 50 of 60 years.
But
like, you can't stomach that again for
maybe
one
52.
Super Bowl.
Right.
Maybe 52.
You can't stomach that again?
Including an 0-16.
I don't know. It's probably a loser's mentality.
Can't do it.
It is. Like Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, they haven't been losing for 62 years. For them, it's a 4-year process, and that's how they're operating with Sheila Ham. So it sucks, but they believe in their process. They believe in the players that they bring in. They believe that DJ Reed was a better move. They believe that, filling the depth part of things, because the guys they brought in that they're paying the money to on their defensive line will be healthy at some point and will be the players that they initially thought they were. So they've gotten to this point. It just sucks because in the years before we were blind followers, Ryan, because it's like 3-13-1, 9-8, 12-5, 15-2, but they lost in the playoffs, and so now a little bit of that blind faith for you was gone. Look, they've gotten here. They've drafted well. They've won playoff games. They figured it out. They paid the players, it seems like, that matter to them. So we're just fans. We're fans in the moment. We're fans now. But I guess we got to believe that they've done right, because there's a lot of happy stuff going on in Ford Field.
Jack Harrington says, give me the 97 Marlins.
Yeah.
Crazy Clown said, the Tigers were fun to watch back then, but they're very disappointing. So I would take the Marlins. Burns says, you got to guarantee it. I'm like, it's guaranteed, Burns. So I think Burns, let me know if you're on board or not. So that's so far in the chat. They would 2 out of 3 so far would take give me the championship.
Oh, man, good stuff. All right, guys, break time. When we come back, we'll go around the NFL. Lots more to get to. Dr. Jeff Pierce coming up in a couple of minutes as well. But first, a message from us here at WSN.
It would help if my mic was on. I know you're tired of wearing the same old sports merch. It's a new era in sports wearables, new designs, amazing apparel, and the ultimate swag. Check out Woodward Sports' latest gear at shop.woodwardsports.com. Hoodies, tees, hats, all guaranteed to turn heads. People are going to be begging you to tell them where you got your new design from, no matter what design you get. Shop.woodwardsports.com. Shop.woodwardsports.com. Get your new merch. We'll be right back.
Listen, I'm not sure who, but somebody let the Tigers get hot.
The Detroit Tigers are locked and loaded for another great summer in Detroit. And it all starts downtown at the biggest home opener party in the city. Join Woodward Sports at Grand Slam Festival as we take over the Detroit Opera House parking lot. A big-ass tent for a big-ass Detroit party. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFestival.com or follow Woodward Sports on X and IG for your chance to get in for free. Party across from Comerica Park and hear the roar as the Tigers take the field for the first time in 2025. DJs, food trucks, bartenders, live broadcasts, and more. See you for the Tigers' first home game of the season, April 4th at the Grand Slam Festival with Detroit's biggest party animals, Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Hey, gang, let me tell you about Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome. Tigers broadcaster Jason Benetti just left here at Lady Jane's. At Lady Jane's, we take the chore out of getting a haircut. Our talented stylist will deliver an industry-leading haircut, relaxing scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome.
And I believe we do have a poll up.
See the poll, Cougar?
With no tinsel.
With no tinsel. Would you rather be the 97 Marlins or just be relevant for the 3 to 4 years with no titles? 3 to 4, I mean, I'm talking about 10 years of success
10 years?
for the Detroit Tigers.
Yeah,
But
with the Tigers.
That's fine.
I can change the poll.
No, it's fine. Very good. Tom Masway, let's go around the NFL, shall we?
We shall.
Damn, that's
Big
loud.
news. Who's starting? Who's injured? What does it all add up to? It's time for Around the NFL on Ermanni and Edwards with Maz.
All right, fellas, let's start you off in Cincinnati, where things are never rosy, although they went to quite a number of Super Bowls. Haven't won it yet, but they've been there. They have a female exec that said at the owners' meetings that Trey Hendrickson should be happy with some of the offers that have been given to him. Trey Hendrickson is not too happy that they're airing his dirty laundry out there. He, matter of fact, talked to his agent and told his agent under no circumstance will there be a hometown discount. So Trey Hendrickson, you can put him back in the news. The Bengals are dumpster fire as far as how to run a team.
And go ahead, Ryan. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, look, this is something to keep an eye on. You only have the opportunity to maximize your earning potential for so many years. And I have completely, over the last couple of years, sided with the players on this. Go get your money. Go get what you're worth. And if you feel like you're being underpaid, leave. Do something about it.
Yeah, no, I was just trying to check out one thing real quick. I'm trying to look at his overall stats for the last 4 seasons.
17 and a half sacks
well, I know
back years.
Yeah, so let's just stem there. At the end of the day, he knows this is BS. He's looking at the offensive side of the ball where you can pay Jamar Chase and you can pay T. Higgins and you can pay Joe Burrow, but you can't pay me. Meanwhile, on the defensive side, I'm doing exactly what these, maybe not Jamar Chase, who's Mr. Triple Crown, but I'm holding my own as it relates to doing my job with the leaders in the league. 17 and a half last year, Maz, if I'm correct, was the leader, right?
Yep.
He led the league. So I can't get paid. I can't re-up. You don't have a defense outside of me. I don't care the gender of the owners at the time. Like, they're just morons for trying to do this old school information. This is the old school bit, Ryan. You leak out the information. The player gets backlash. Now the player gets pressured into signing a deal. That's the old NFL. That's not this NFL. He stood up for himself, and he should. So they're going to have to pay him, or as you said, Ryan, keep an eye on that because he's going to have to field some offers. And this just was a hell of a year for the Bengals who don't want to pay defensive players because at that position, Max Crosby got broke off, Myles Garrett got broke off. He had more sacks than both of them in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So,
Listen what else she said. She told the league that the Bengals are basically free agents and can go anywhere they want after this next season because if they don't want to re-up with Paycor Stadium, which used to be Paul Brown Stadium, she is saying that they could go anywhere they want. So she's actually saying we don't have to stay in Cincinnati.
And that's what lit the owners' meetings on fire. That is really the news that came out of the owners' meetings. There's no doubt about it. She is about to get paid big time from either the city of Cincinnati or somewhere else. And if there was another city.
Can you imagine them leaving Cincy?
No, I can't.
Yeah, it's terrible.
No, I can't. And I don't think they will. But just for argument's sake, if there was a team that was on the move, Where would you go? I have my answer. What's yours?
Nashville's already taken. Vegas is already taken.
Yeah.
East Coast. I can't see sticking anyone else on the East Coast.
Who's got infrastructure?
I have a really
Orlando?
All right, you're going to say London.
No.
No? All right. Well, hey.
Maybe Orlando. I'm trying to think of.
Let me look at this.
The Battle Cats currently play there.
St. Louis.
Yep.
St. Louis.
Yeah, St. Louis.
Oh yeah, I don't know why.
Yes, St. Louis.
They do need a team.
Even though 2 teams have failed there,
I mean,
it's still a big market.
It won't happen. Cincinnati Bengals are staying in Cincinnati, but just for argument's sake, a purely hypothetical,
I can see that.
the next football team is going to St. Louis, right?
Yeah, you got to be right. They've been robbed twice, literally robbed twice. And if the Cleveland Browns could move, I guess anybody could move. If the Baltimore Colts could move, I guess anybody can move.
Yeah, right.
2 of the league's preeminent franchises packed up in the middle of the night and left.
Yeah.
There just seems to be such a time of stability in the NFL, right? Doesn't there? Like it's just the biggest league in the world, well, in the country anyway. But it just feels like you wouldn't move a team in today's NFL. But yeah, I guess you're right, Maz. I mean, if the Rams move, the Chargers move out of San Diego, the
Raiders
Rams move out of St. Louis,
Raiders,
the
Raiders out of Oakland.
Cleveland. Can you imagine the state of Ohio? Cleveland lost the Browns and the Bengals. Cincinnati lost the Bengals.
And they came back. So the Bengals would essentially come back.
Man.
2 expansion teams.
You never know.
In Nebraska.
Money talks, right?
That's right.
Right.
Money talks.
That's a good point.
Set yourself up for a big payday there.
Speaking of another league that the NFL wants to back, the NFL is looking for owners to fund a professional flag football league. Flag football is going to be in the LA Olympics. Flag football is here to stay. It will be a high school sport. It will be a varsity sport. And it is going to be here to stay. And you know who threw their name in the hat right away? Serena Williams and her husband. She says, hey, we'll own a flag. We'll own a flag football team. So the NFL, you see the commercials. This league, they just keep churning out stuff.
What's the name now? Will this flag football team be co-ed?
I think.
Because that's exactly what the graphic just showed. So a picture of girls and guys.
Yeah.
It does nothing for me.
This is a way to get.
I gotta see it out.
This is the next evolution in getting women fully involved in football. Yeah. You can't put them in pads and have them play against men. So now we just flag football. Yeah. So I don't know. It could be.
Talk about an all-inclusive sport. You're looking at it.
It'll be on ESPN Ocho in no time.
That's why I use that obscure early.
Hey, by the way, did you see, Braylon, you pointed this out a couple of minutes ago during the break, but Geno Smith signed a 2-year extension, $75 million, worth up to $85 million. So, I mean, are you paying a guy $85 million and then drafting a first-round quarterback? I just don't think you do that in today's NFL.
Well, he's there for 2 years.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean do you do that in the NFL? Kirk Cousins got 190, and they drafted Michael Penix Jr. This is $85 million.
Yeah, I know.
But this is only $85 million. That's essentially $60 million for the 2.
Mark Davis is the poorest owner in the NFL, though.
Not with Brady's money now.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Brady's influence.
But he's not doing. You're right. I'm just saying it's not like the Kirk Cousins deal is what I'm saying. It's $85 million, not $190.
Yeah,
a little bit less.
Hey, also the NFL now will allow teams to wear alternate uniforms 4 times a year. We're going to see a lot more of Bucko Bruce and the Buccaneers and their creamsicles. Who knows? We might see Lions in their black uniforms a little bit more this year. So they're allowing 4 different uniform changes this year.
I got nothing on that.
All right.
It's fine. It's just like, you know what? Sell more.
That's what it's for.
Right.
Yep.
It's just about selling more. More merchandise, guys. One more.
You want
break
the
here.
Lions news?
What we got some Lions?
Well, they just released today their off-season, the dates for the off-season workouts.
The off-season program, 2025 off-season workout programs. Tuesday, April 22nd, ahead of the NFL draft on April 24th. The team's mandatory minicamp in June. Detroit's program dates subject to change. Mandatory minicamp, and you know what? The I don't know if we made a big deal of it yesterday when we played the Rod Wood, but interesting about all the training facility stuff, the Lions headquarters
They say
in
they're
Allen
staying.
Park, we have thought for years
Right.
that they were searching out a new spot to build, one of these state-of-the-art facilities. And we've seen that with Dallas, kind of a campus. I know, or I don't know this, but I feel like the Lions don't like their training camp situation because of the parking there
Right.
on Rotunda
They
in
want more
Allen
people
Park.
to come.
And exactly, they want more people to come, and it's just such a barrier. They're kind of landlocked there
They're
where
gonna have
they
to
are.
buy some more property, right?
I just
But
don't know
that's
what
all Ford property out there.
Yeah, I don't know
there's
what
all-
more
yeah,
property
my
there is
church is
because
out
you got Rotunda, then you've got the Southfield Freeway, so
Yeah.
there's nowhere you can go.
Right.
You're not going to knock down a freeway for the Lions.
Nope.
So it's just not going to work like that. But he said they are staying in Allen Park, and they're just putting a ton of money into that place. Ford Field coming up on 24, 25 years.
They re-upped with that name as well.
Absolutely. That's just great, though. You just pay yourself, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Well, it should be Ford Field.
right. And the same with LCA. I mean, you are taking money
Yes.
from one pot and putting it
Yeah.
into the other. You're just trading it
They're,
back.
they're both excellent names.
Yeah.
As
Right.
far as what you want to sell,
Right.
what you want to put out there,
So-
promote is the word.
All right, well, let's take a break. Is Dr. Pierce here or on
I don't
Skype?
see him, but he's supposed to be here.
Okay, we'll take
So
a
he's
break.
running behind.
If he's not here, we'll continue on
Yeah.
with the NFL. If he is here, we'll talk to him. Just can't see out that far. All right, but first a message from Mark White.
That's right, guys. Dreaming of a new home but feeling the financial pinch? Well, Mark White and Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team, they are ready to help you out, guys. They're going to knock off $5,000 of your closing costs and pay it themselves. That's $5,000 in your pocket. That's right. Call Mark White and Associates today, 248-290-8242. Visit them online as well. It's markwhitesells.com. Again, that number, Mark White and Associates, 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
Listen, I'm not sure who, but somebody let the Tigers get hot.
The Detroit Tigers are locked and loaded for another great summer in Detroit. And it all starts downtown at the biggest home opener party in the city. Join Woodward Sports at Grand Slam Festival as we take over the Detroit Opera House parking lot. A big-ass tent for a big-ass Detroit party. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFestival.com or follow Woodward Sports on X and IG for your chance to get in for free. Party across from Comerica Park and hear the roar as the Tigers take the field for the first time in 2025. DJs, food trucks, bartenders, live broadcasts, and more. See you for the Tigers' first home game of the season, April 4th at the Grand Slam Festival with Detroit's biggest party animals, Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app online or in club and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season
and take advantage of our $20 haircut special.
Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Head to WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Hey, welcome back.
Back to
Woodward
the
Sports
desk.
Network. Yeah. Braylon, you got some fun coming up here. What do you got going on?
I don't know if we're gonna do it or save it for another day. What's the deal with Dr. Pierce?
Well, I don't see him here, so.
Then
Have at it.
it sounds like the plan to me. All right, cool. Look, top 25 logos over the years. Teams, mascots have been a very huge part of sports, but it's been some dope logos. Which logos appease to you? So I got 25 logos, but I want to know what are your top 5 as we go through this list. Just off top, what would be your top 5? Ryan, Maz, Ricky has. Don't put it up yet, Rick.
No?
Off the top, Yankees, Blackhawks.
Okay.
No, I included, by the way, no Detroit teams. That was my rule.
That's
my
fine.
own self-imposed rule. No Detroit teams. Yankees, Blackhawks, Raiders, Celtics, and I'm going to go with the Bruins.
All right, Maz, you're up.
No, I can't say Bruins. It's 2 Boston teams.
If you like it, you like it.
Are we doing one from each sport?
No, I
No,
just going around. Give me a minute here.
Here.
How about dang.
Here we go. As you figure that out, Backyard Breaks put up their top 25 logos. That's where I got this from. I wanted to see if you guys could guess the top 10. What's your other one, Ryan? If you figured it out.
It's so much Toronto Maple Leafs.
All right,
Ooh.
let's do this. What's your 5, man?
I got the Buccaneers. That's
All right.
my favorite of all time.
Okay.
I got the Oilers.
Oh, I had that one.
I got the Raiders. And my 4th one would be there's so many great. Don't shoot me off the show. I like the Cleveland Indians. I like Chief Waffle.
Okay.
That was my top 4.
Pete.
Something here good. I'm going to start from the number 5 for me are the Montreal Canadiens, the Habs.
Oh, nice.
Number 4 on this list. Why are you laughing there, Tommy?
I'm not laughing at you, Pete.
Oh, I thought you were laughing. I was
No,
going to say.
I'm laughing at me.
Yeah, I love the Habs. Number 4 on this list, I have the Steelers.
Just like that.
I have the Steelers as number 4 on my list. I think that Steelers logo is absolutely wonderful. The 3rd on this list would be the Yankees. I think that's obviously a classic, the good old NY. And now we get into the area that I think Braylon's going to like. Number 2 for me would be the Houston Oilers. The old Houston Oilers, in honor of Braylon's father. But that was... And then number 1 would be Gordie Howe's last NHL team, and that would be the Hartford Whalers.
Give me the Patriots, please.
The
Pat
Patriots.
The Patriot, please.
See if you can guess the top 10 on this list. That's how we're going to do it now. Top 10 list. There. The Yankees are not in the top 10.
Patriots.
No, they're not in the top 10.
Patriots are not?
Patriots logo is ugly. Like the top 25 logos of all
Pat
time.
the Patriot, the guy, the center kneeling down, is not on there.
No, it's not. No. This list was not made by somebody born in the 40s. Can you give me one? Can you give me? It can go college as well. Can you? I'll start you up. Number 10 is Florida. There we go. Number 10 is Florida.
The F and the Gator?
I didn't know college was an option here.
I thought it was.
Me either.
Yeah.
But now you know. Now you know.
Apparently so.
I just said logos.
What about Notre Dame?
I always just said
Notre
logos.
Dame.
No.
The Mariners.
Nope.
Maple
No
Leafs.
more colleges in the top 10.
Maple Leafs.
The Mighty Ducks are 1. The Raptors are 2. The Pistons.
Oh, the Mighty Ducks.
Pistons are 3. Grizzlies are 4.
Oh, yeah.
The
we said
old
no,
school
see?
Pistons logo.
That's the
motor.
one. I wanted
said
that on
no
my
Detroit
list until we said no
teams.
Detroit
Yeah.
teams.
Oregon Ducks are 5th.
just went
Dolphins
off the
5.
rails.
Dolphins 6.
Top logo.
Coyotes 7.
Top logo.
Sharks 8.
time.
Nuggets old school logo with the city in the background 9, and then Florida.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's great. Dr. Jeff Pierce in the house with us now. How you doing, Dr. Pierce?
Good, how are you all?
There's the list.
Oh, there
I
is
have no
the
idea
list.
what you guys are doing.
Oh, the teal piston.
Yeah.
The horse's head. Wow.
Best logos of all time. Who picked those?
Backyard
That's
Breaks.
nice.
It wasn't mine.
That Oilers one is just
Do it up
so
there. See
dope.
what you thought they.
Is
the old school
Blackhawks not allowed
Broncos?
anymore?
What is?
The Blackhawks. Is that allowed anymore?
Yeah, I
sure.
think they still go by
It's
the
in the bottom
Blackhawks.
right corner.
I think they still go by the Blackhawks last check.
I,
the old Warriors. Yeah,
I mean,
that
also
was
it
dope.
did happen.
I got
so.
the Broncos up there. That's
Yeah, that
for
Broncos one is up. The Utah Jazz, that was on my list.
Okay, Denver, whatever. No, thank you. What is
That Raptor, that Isaiah Thomas Raptor is pretty good.
Yeah.
You know.
The Whalers get no respect.
Dr. Pierce, what have you been up to, my man?
What have I been up to? I'm out
Yeah.
going to Tortuga this weekend in Fort Lauderdale. You know about that?
No, what is it?
Tortuga is one of the biggest country festivals that they build everything right on the stage in Fort Lauderdale Beach. It's amazing. And the weather's supposed to be amazing. And the people are just, it's a fun country festival right there on the water.
No kidding.
The boats pull up, the whole thing. So it's an amazing event.
Unbelievable.
You know,
Doc, let me ask you, just to get some injury news, and of course, Dr. Jeff Pierce, Michigan Sports and Spine, our WSN injury insider, with us for his weekly visit. One of the guys we were talking about in the NFL draft this year, so many people don't know what to make of this player, and that is Will Johnson, because of the injury. He's got a turf toe injury. What is turf toe, and what does it prevent you from doing?
I don't know what turf toe is. No. No. Basically, it's self-explanatory. You're getting the irritation to the great toe. What does that do? That puts, like, people, like older people, like, compare it to like a gout, right? A gout is like an irritation to that big toe. You just can't do anything. You can't push off. It's funny because you're talking about one toe can take a person out. First of all, as far as him being a good player or drafting, it shouldn't change him one bit. That's a treatable issue. Mm-hmm. You know, it's a preventative thing in the future, and it's not like you were born with it type of thing. So that, but what is it? It's an irritation to the big toe that causes a lot of inflammation and irritation. It's the simplicity of it. But the problem is, if you think about it, like if you go and you can't push off, like you could walk around and lift your big toe up. But if you have to run and power, the big toe has a lot of purpose for you, your balance, your abilities to push off, you know, to defend, all of it. You're think about if you had to pull your great toe off, so if you lost it, what would happen?
My balance would not be great.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, and the other thing is that the other side of that is why I train a lot of my young players is I make them lift their big toe up because they're so dependent. Like when you have a flat foot and you have issues with your foot itself, you're pushing to the inside of the foot, which even puts more pressure on the inside of your foot, meaning on the great toe side, meaning like a lot of lateral, what we call lateral strains, because the outside of your foot is so weak. So a lot of times when I tell my young players or anybody or even us, older people, you lift your big toe up and you just try to do toe-ups without your big toe because it forces you to use the outside of your foot, which creates better balance and better strength.
Hey,
Doc, you're dying to ask me something.
Opening day tomorrow.
Yes.
You going to be down there with us?
If I'm welcome with the gang.
Well, of course you are.
Yeah,
we're going to be at the Opera House. We'll put you down, of course, obviously, for the Grand Slam Fest. But Tigers last week, they played opening game against the Dodgers. Gleyber Torres, our new second baseman, hits a home run. And, of course, he hurts his oblique muscle. So he lasted 2 more innings. He comes out. He's on the IL now. How long is this going to take? And do you get over this pretty quick?
You should get over this pretty quick. If everybody knows what the oblique, can you show us your oblique muscles?
I don't have any, but it's right here.
Maybe
right?
Braylon can pop some out right now. But
I got oblique muscles.
Yeah, the obliques are the side muscles, the rotational muscles. So I said it on a show before. You can't just train in parallel. If you're doing rotational sports, you got to train and stretch those muscles. So that's very important. What he did is he probably overstretched it. He tweaked it. Classically, we'll put the secret sauce, some patches on there, get some aggressive treatment. But I think they're being pretty proactive and cautious here early in the season to make sure he can get that rotational. But I didn't see that he overstretched it. It's kind of like...
It was definitely on the swing.
Yeah,
it was on the swing.
It should have been a preventable issue. I mean, I hate to see that happen. I don't know why, unless he overtrained. And a lot of times when these guys come out of training and they don't do the rotational exercises and strength training, you get those certain muscles that are very tight. Like we talked about runners, running. Do you want me to get into this?
Yeah.
The runners, I mean, I've been picking on runners a little bit, that cannot be your only activity because you're shortening certain muscles. And with oblique, when you're just doing everything in parallel and you're not doing the rotational, he could have overdeveloped his simple muscles in one plane where obliques are in rotational. So they could have had like a muscle imbalance too, which is probably most likely what happened.
Hey, Doc, sticking with the Detroit sports teams, Cade Cunningham, he's missed 5 games now. Talked to a friend of mine. They're going to see if he can go today and practice. Games on Saturday. This is a pivotal part of the season. Calf contusion, he's missing 4. Seeing if he can go today to see if he can go Saturday. Tell us about the calf contusion and tell us what do you know, if anything, about this.
Well, I mean, the calf contusions, I always talk about muscle contusions, right?
Yeah.
We talked about my young lacrosse player the other day. But basically, what is it? It's a bruise to the muscle, not to the bone, as opposed to a bone bruise.
Right.
Bone bruise is right to the bone. You have inflammation to the bone. It's a constant irritant that you want to rest. A muscle contusion is different. It's like, think about it, look at the meat we eat. If there's like blood in it or it's a little thicker, it's the same kind of thing. So when you look at a contusion in the muscle, it means you have inflammation and sometimes blood in there. And if he's got a little blood in there, you have to aggressively work that out. So it's an aggressive therapeutic treatment where we do blading to tolerance. And what does that mean? You want to get that fluid out. You want to get that inflammation down. Like if you have a muscle tear, like muscles have beautiful striated muscle. So that means everything's organized. As we age, like if you feel your muscle and you feel like there's a little bump in there, that's just showing how it's not smooth. It's not efficient. So a lot of times with a muscle bruise, you'll definitely get the inflammation. If you get a hematoma where you get a blood thing in there, I don't want to say blood clot, but a blood accumulation, then that just messes it with it even more. And the biggest mistake people make is like, oh, I rest it. The worst thing you do is rest it.
That was my question.
Like you want it, like a mouse, like the most common thing is in football. Like when a helmet goes to the thigh, you get that big quadricep injury, and everybody thinks you gotta rest it. You want to fully stretch it. You want to take your fist to it. You want to beat it out as quick as possible.
While today might not be a big problem, playing in a 65-degree day, what do spring sports athletes face this time of year? Like for the next week, you're playing baseball, Little League starting, high schools are starting,
Hammies
pro
and
players. It is so cold outside. It's going to be in the 40s, maybe some rain. What are players faced with in this specific sports season at this time of year?
Hamstrings and groins.
Yeah. Say it louder.
Hamstrings and groins because it's cold outside. So if you're an outside sport, warming up outside, a lot of times guys don't warm up as long as they should to get that lather, to warm the muscles up, to get going for the season. So they BS the warm up. And when you BS the warm up, that's how you create a lot of those strains in the groin and hamstring area.
It's my assistant there.
I just bring me on part time. Bring me on part time.
Can't afford you. Basically, yes. To take off, that's exactly right. What you try to start worrying about is what's happening to the muscle. If we simplify this, it's all about muscle, ligaments, and tendons. The nerves are there, the blood vessels are there, all that. When you start talking about weather changes and cold, you're already shortening everything. You're already a little bit apprehensive. And then you're playing a classic softball guy, 35-year-old guy, played in high school, played all that stuff. I'm 35. I'm 10 feet from that ball. I'm going for it. He reaches. He's full outstretched. You're talking about an outstretched catch where your arm's out, your armpit's out, you hit the ground, your groin is going, your hamstrings are going, your butt muscles. You've got to engage everything to get to that ball. And your mental capacity says yes. Your lack of warm-up and stretching and conditioning says, we got you. And that's really what you're trying to prevent. So you got to be smart. You got to respect your body. I mean, take that extra 20 minutes. If it's cold, dress appropriately, do the stretching, get everything in order, and try to get your mental capacity at your body's ability capacity is the best thing I could say.
All right, we've been talking about it all day. Final question, final thought. Would you rather be the 1997 fan of the 1997 Marlins?
They won the World Series.
Right.
They won the World Series.
Team went all
Florida
in, won the
Marlins.
World Series, then sold everybody off, and they sucked
and
for
they
a
still
long
stink.
time. Well, actually, they only sucked for 6 years, but
But they stuck again.
Or be a fan of the Tigers 2006 to 2016 and have this long period of
God.
really good, but never win a championship.
We're talking as a Lions fan. What would
As
you
a
rather
Lion-
be?
Wait a minute.
As a Lions fan, would you
But we're
rather
talking
make
about the
one
Tigers
Super Bowl?
and the Marlins. I lived it. I paid for all those playoff tickets to watch the Tigers lose against San Francisco and come in short and pick on what's his face that he wasn't committed to the team. What was his
Red Sox.
Cabrera. All that. I'd rather win.
Yep.
I'd rather win the championship and be upset that you sold the whole team.
Yep. Because those flags fly forever, as somebody said.
I agree.
As somebody said online. Bray, get us out of here. Michigan Sports and Spine. Dr. Jeff Pierce, check him out.
I'll see you Monday.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, but I'll be here on Monday at Michigan Sports and Spine.
Hey, by the way, if I can give a programming update, we will be here tomorrow for a watch party that starts at 2 o'clock during our show. So we'll pick it up mid-game. Everybody else is going to be downtown, but we're going to do a watch party back here as well.
We will do it here, Pete. Get us out of here.
I appreciate you there, Braylon Edwards. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Get ready for Tigers opening day. We have the watch party coming up tomorrow. Go Tigers, baby! For the great Braylon Edwards, for the great Ryan Ermanni, for the great Ricky Burns, for my dear friend Tom Mazaway, and to you, all of our fans out there, thanks very much for listening. This is Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. We will see you tomorrow for the watch party. Go Tigers!
Pete, you missed your call.